Oh, hey there. This video is going to be a little bit different, and I'm going to show you guys how you do product photography, even if you're a complete beginner, have no experience, and you have a Nikon D5200 laying around with a 35mm, and you're like, can I take product photos with my Nikon? If you're trying to take videos, yeah, it might be a challenge, but photos, this guy was made for photos, so stay tuned. What up guys, my name is Peter, you're watching Broke Visionary Collective, where I help you guys become a better content creator. And for this video, I'm going to tell you how you fake it until you make it when it comes to product photography. There is a holy trinity when it comes to any sort of a video gear and production. So first thing is, what exactly do you need to take your product photos is you need a light. Yes, if you have a $5,000 budget, you can definitely pick up a Godox strobe light that with a Coach hot shoe connector to your camera. But for the purpose of this Broke on a Budget episode is that we're going to show you that you can use one light right here, a constant light, and it is a LED Godox light. Check that out. And it's more budget friendly, as well as we're going to take photos of just, not sponsored, I wish I was, an Apple mouse, couple of my lenses, and just a really cheap IKEA desk. I'm using that as the foreground, white wall as your backdrop, and I'm going to show you exactly how you do that. The next principle is when it comes to lighting and product photography is you need the right lenses, right? So if you take a look at any of your lenses, it should tell you the amount of how much focusing distance that you need, like this guy right here. If you look closely, it'll say right here, you'll need the closest as you can get to someone is the thread count or the thread indicator to the actual object. So this one is 0.92 or essentially a foot, meaning that if the object was here from the thread to my camera, a foot is the closest I can get. This is important because if you want to do specifically product photography, you might want something like a macro or micro is what Nikon likes to call it, lens, where the one I recommend is the 40mm. Link is in the description, go check it out. That is the best budget for your bang for your buck when it comes to micro lenses, but you already know this channel is all about using what you got. So I'll be using the 18-55 kit lens, as well as the 35mm, which is mostly known for portraits, but I'm going to show you that yes, you can take okay looking product photography. And the next portion is what you consider when you do product photography is looking at your composition. How you're framing the photos can completely change your direction of how the photo is going to look, as well as layering and depth, meaning what types of objects you want to put on your canvas so you can have a different looks. If you have a white mouse on a white backdrop with a white desk, that's not good. It's gonna look all one color. So you want contrast, you want different types of objects. But if you want different props into that, it's gonna get a little confusing because your eyes gonna have a hard time telling what is it that I'm trying to tell a story through that photo. So be careful about that and layering and having fun with it, right? This is about how you take a $10,000 photo shoot for Nike and a shoe, right? This is your DIY and do it at home for your Instagram, Facebook, whatever feed. And I'm gonna show you that you can take decent looking photos and videos about your product showcases all within the nook of your office or home. But yeah, just to give you all a little context, you know how easy it is to film something, right? You have one light here. For example, this cup is my product. What you want is, yes, you can take a picture right here, but what if I just completely turn this cup like this, right? Maybe I lower it to give it a little bit more of depth and context, right? How does that look? Same thing over here. I can just slowly move it here. How does that look? What if I do it from a top-down angle, like that? What if I do one of these, right? I gotta clean that cup, but I can do a photo here. What if I completely just do it super close and have that as your photo, right guys? Here, there's the ring light there, so I have to turn off that light. But as you can see, the way and the composition of how you shoot your photo can completely change the way how it'll look and feel, as well as depth, right? What I mean by depth, shallow depth, yes, look. How does this look? In comparison, if I were to move it back here, take the cup off, and have that, right? Have the cup in the foreground and purposely create a shadow. Look at that. Just look at it. And another thing is what you can do is you can also change up your lighting. I'm just moving my lighting, as you can see, to the left, to the right. And now that gave this cup a completely different feel by me just moving the lighting. So it's over here, right here, bouncing off the wall a bit as a softbox onto my cup. So what I'm doing is I'm essentially playing around with different sort of angles that I can figure out whatever it is that I'm shooting. So right now I'm trying to do this top-down type of overlay look. There are so many different types of angles that you want to shoot this, and so much ways, even if you don't have a big fancy $1,000 Godox key light, that you can do product photographies even if you have a Nikon camera. If you don't have a macro lens, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, yeah, of course. But with a kit lens, and even though you have a foot in terms of focus distancing, you can still take great product photography, especially if you're a complete beginner. This is a great place to start, is just start taking pictures of whatever objects that you want to showcase. For example, a cup here, right? Or a mouse. And once you build up that skill and experience, that kind of applies to everything else, right? I'm not saying I'm a product expert photographer, right? But what I can do is I can take photos of products that look great for your feed. And like I said, the basics of how you do photos and videos, you can apply that anywhere. So if you watch this far, make sure you grab all my resources in the description below. My name is Peter, you're watching Broke Visionary Collective. And if you want more of these types of videos, let me know in the comments below. And you're watching Broke Visionary Collective, where we all serve nothing, but you can always create something. Cheers, guys.